conniving. Money, money, never. Money, never, money. Money, never, money. Money, you can keep your conniving money. When you been a corrupt, in a bit there'll be money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full, in a bit there'll be money. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me money. Yes, money, never. Money, never, money. Money, never, money. Money, now don't want you conniving money. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. That's all the money that me walk for. A 2 pound note and a guilder piece. A 2 pound note and a guilder piece. A 2 pound note and a guilder piece. This is all the money that me walk for. I said money, neighbor. Money, neighbor, money. Money, neighbor, money. Money, I don't want you conniving money. Oh, Joseph.
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Tom's TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruption over land and sea, where the wicked politicians they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting aisle money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Beep. Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see, sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, with Jah as ordinate me to sing. I sing Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, they got Breakford, Bork and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Matthews. Big up Pastor, poor people governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right On and on, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Wyndham Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice.
And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
Make memories with good vibes, great music, and timeless classics. This and every Sunday, Club Twilight Lounge, Sideline Down Buxtonian presents the Real Big People After Lunch Oldies. Music by popular DJs. Admission is free. Starting time, 13 hours. Club Twilight Lounge, Sideline Down, Buxton North. The place to be. This and every Sunday.
Tell me what I
Marching towards the shining future, courage high, the past is gone. Brave for coming fear and counting out tomorrow is summer's dawn. The storm comes dark and glory, through face lightning, flash and flame. On the Republic of Guyana, glorify Guyana's name. Forward, forward, youthful nation, right with heart, the husband's might. May his strength forever grant to strive and seizing for right. From Guyana's base consummate to white star whence is the clay. Build thy people, dear Guyana, strong, united, loyal, free. My Guyana, my Guyana, my Guyana. My Guyana, El Dorado, rest of all the world away. In my heart will I wander, memory enshrined thee. All my hopes and aspirations, all my longings, only tie. Everlasting bonds around us, as the fleeting years roll by. My Guyana, El Dorado, my Guyana, times unfolding, and for my destiny, to redeeming lasting splendor, all for years and lost glory. And the glory of thy glory, for the long, long night is past. Oh, arise, triumphant, glorious, from the ashes of the past. Oh, arise, triumphant, glorious, from the ashes of the past. Oh, my lovely native land, more dear to me than all the world, I see what sun is strand. Pour down upon the borders to the mountains to me that all the world I see was sun is strong. Pour down upon the border, down upon the deep, the great Atlantic glory to a pure, great glory to a pure, the sea, as old and new, for better in the presence as though I love thee, I love thee, I want to serve my country. Guyana, beautiful, happy and free. Guyana, let's cooperate with our government to help develop Guyana the free. Together, my comrades, we'll build a brand new Guyana, a country where all are equal opportunity. So let us begin now to show loyalty to Guyana by showing love and respect for all Guyanese. My brothers, my sisters, we will live and die together. Our motto, one people, one nation, one destiny. For harmonious living, cooperation will be forever. In work and play as we live a strong Guyanese. Guyana, I want to serve my country. Guyana, beautiful, happy and free. Guyana, let's cooperate with our government to help develop Guyana the free. Well, it's time we settle all the racials in the interior. Our natural resources are there in great quantity, and we will do farming and establish towns by the border. We'll grow more food so we could fill all Guyanese. My greatest desire is to serve my country, Guyana, and sincerely help my Guyana to move along. Our government asked us, and we study hard and we learn the things that will help Guyana to become strong. Guyana, I want to serve my country. Guyana, beautiful, happy and free. Guyana, let's cooperate with our government to help develop Guyana the free, to help develop Guyana the free. We hail the Guyana, our country, our home,
Morning, are you morning? Morning, I am morning. Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. It is now 27 minutes past the 7 o'clock hour. It's the 24th day of April in the year 2026. It means the month has ended. This month end is the last week of the month. So what are you going to do? Well, it's not the last week of the month. But we're in the definitely last quarter of the month. So we finish. We got about a week or so to go. The 1st of May is a holiday. The 1st of May is Labor Day. And so that is on us already too. Anyways, morning, welcome to another program. How you been? How was it yesterday? How was it last night? How are you feeling this morning? What are your plans for today? How are you getting through with those long, short, and medium-term projects? It's, like I said, first quarter of the year finished. We're in the second quarter. How y'all get through? We're going on with your cash grant. Y'all getting it? How many of you have gotten your cash grant thus far? It's Free Talk Friday, so we can talk about that. Yesterday, Mr. Jordan was mentioning some artists, some Caribbean artists, and some music, and so on and so forth. I couldn't remember the entire list because I didn't plan to do what I'm about to do, but I remembered a few this morning, and so I decided I will play them for you. To start with, while he was talking yesterday, I was saying, hey, I don't know if it's research or the man actually knows his music. Lonely Man, Lionel Abel. And I always like that song. I get my kicks. It's really grooving out of life, I think it is. Redone perhaps by UB40. I think the UB40 version is very popular. I get my kicks from watching people moving to and fro. Hey, ask them what they're upon, half of them don't know. I like that song. I always liked it. And so I remember that one a part of the list. Lonely Man is always a Guyanese hit. If you ask me, everybody in Guyana might know I'm a lonely man. And so I remember that one too. And then, of course, there's Pitter Patter, right? Raindrops keep falling, and so on and so forth. So let's start the morning's program. While you share the live, invite others, tell them we're on. Let's go with Hopton Lewis, Grooving Out of Life. That's the original, I would think. And give me a thumbs up if you're hearing me loudly and clearly. According to Denny's campaign, I should ask you, hey, Winston, give up yourself, partner. And you and I can do some work on that anniversary project that you're undertaking. We can talk about it and let me see how I can enhance it or how you can enhance it.
And they're the ones who think I'm crazy, but they don't realize that I'm just grooving, grooving. Our own life. Keep on grooving, grooving till I die. See a river flowing by me, headed for the sea. I get the feeling deep inside me. It's so good to be free, and I get sunshine in the daytime and moonlight every night.
No, Dennis, you can't be a Mr. Jordan's bad book. Remember, you're senior to him. At least by marriage.
till I die. Keep on a grooving. Don't stop moving. Grooving out all night. Everybody keep on grooving. Don't stop moving. Grooving out all night. Keep on a grooving. Grooving. Grooving till I die. Keep on moving. Moving.
But you know, regardless of the challenges, we just gotta keep on moving. We gotta keep on moving. You know, if you stop moving, then you're gonna gather so much mass that you know what I say? Rolling Stone gathers no mass, but it means it will continue to move, right? If you continue to move, you ain't gathering mass. That's a good thing. Because if you dare choose not to move and you start gathering mass to start moving again, you have problems. Pressure. Right? Pressure. Some of us allow ourselves to be so stagnated or become so stagnated that even to take the first baby step to move forward, we find it challenging. And so it's important that we keep moving. But not moving, as I have a friend like to say, some people say they're busy and some people are seemingly busy. Right? I like to say, you're in business or you're in busyness. In other words, if you're moving, which is necessary, you have to keep moving. Ensure you're moving in the right direction. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting time. And I think we in this country, we are moving. We are moving, and we're moving at a rapid rate. We're the fastest growing economy. But where are we moving to? I think we're moving rapidly into, well, dictatorship and poverty. That's where I think we're moving. Yes, you're going to see the 1% of the 1% super rich. But usually, previously we talked about we having the rich or the super rich, and then we have the middle class, and then we have the low class, and then we ain't got no class. Nowadays, from the time you move from the rich, you go right down to the no class. There's no buffer in between there. And so we are moving. We are really, really moving. But where are we moving towards? Where are we moving towards? It's Free Talk Friday, so I will open up the lines early. Because I don't think we have spoken a lot to each other in the course of the week here. But I want you to share the live still. I don't like the numbers. So share the live. Share the live. And tell them they're missing out because I'm playing some bona fide tracks here. This is Arnie Smith for you, Peter Potter.
Have you ever been inside on a rainy, rainy night, holding your baby tight? Well, I have. Have you ever had your dreams, long forgotten schemes, coming true? It seems that I have. Have you ever been to bed with music in your head, forgetting your daily bread? Oh, I have. Tell your friend it's true, it's a pretty thing to go through, just between me and you. Yes, I have. Bitter, spatter, bitter, batter, coming down on my rooftop, me and my baby holding tight, doing all right. Hope it never stops. Bitter, spatter, bitter, batter, coming down on my rooftop. Me and my baby holding tight, doing all right. Hope it never stops. Oh man.
Hey, Winston.
I love
Let
the
me
color.
have a song from yesterday, partner. It's Dennis
With all the windows down. Oh, yes. Tell your friend it's true. It's a pretty thing to go through. Just between me and you. Yes, I have. Coming down on my rooftop. Me and my baby holding tight, doing all right. Hope it never stops. Coming down on my rooftop. Me and my baby holding tight, doing all right. Hope it never stops. Coming down on my rooftop. Me and my baby holding tight, doing all right. Hope it never stops. Coming down on my rooftop. Me and my baby.
You know, I like my friends them, you know. I love my friends them. And I love a good you know, I love a good talk name. Well, I know it's gossip morning, Winston. Is there any say must call you Winston, man? But now I see she balling and she already don't make bad friends between me and Mr. Jordan. Is you so call him man make Winston man to you? Huh? It's not you say call him man Winston and now you're already, but context, what kind of context? Context is some program I think them people that's got on channel something. I don't deal with context. Or context is Enrico Wolford program. Wherever it is, I ain't looking after no context. It's a Carly big man, hey Winston. And I do it up, and I clear me end. You understand? You can't blame me for doing that and claiming me end. You cannot do that. That's not fair. I'm looking for something that I just download. And I ain't even know what to do with it. I don't find it though. I'm good at that. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it right. Yeah, we're gonna get it right. You know, when I hear like Lonely Man and I get my kicks from watching people which is moving out of life and pitter patter. Naturally, when I start hearing that rhythm, I start hearing Ride Me Donkey. Right? Ride Me Donkey. And so y'all know Ride Me Donkey, right? I know Ride Me Donkey. And then there's this one that I don't know who sang that song, but it's a song I heard a lot as a youngster and I actually like. I know I can't sing, so I don't try to sing. I could tell you it is I'm coming down on the express train. All the people are not the same. Party time or party line. Where's it there? Party time or party line? Right? I'm coming down on the what train? Boom boom train or something like that. All the people are not the same. If you see them, wherever. Yeah, I might remember the lyrics. But it's a song that always caught me as a youngster. Right? Yeah. So share the life. Share the life. Continue to share the life. I want to tell you that the Guyanese Overseas Based Sports Association is hosting a raffle. right? They are hosting a raffle, and that raffle will be drawn on the 9th of next month. Raffle will be drawn on the 9th of next month, and it's in aid of their 7th annual track and field classics, right? They have been doing this track and field classics for 7 years now. This is the 7th annual track and field classics that they're going to be doing. And it's going to be done at the Leonora ground, I think. Let me ensure I get that right. It's why y'all ain't got the event. The yes. Why y'all ain't got the thing. Yes, but I think it's going to be done at it's the 7th annual Independence Track and Field Classic. Yes, and it's going to be at the Lenora Athletics Complex, as they call it. Good. That is going to be on the 22nd. The classic is on the 22nd, but the raffle is going to be drawn on the 9th. Tickets are $10 each, $100 a book, and you can contact Terence Harris. You can contact Terence Harris for tickets. You can contact Terence on 914-562-4350. And of course, it is deductible, tax deductible, so you can use the EIN 41-2659112. Good, so it's not like you're giving nothing for nothing. You're giving something and you're getting something. Apart from the fact that you can claim it as a tax deductible, the prices are big. Prices are big. There's a 2026 Toyota RAV4. Then there's a round trip to Miami, all inclusive, $2,000 in cash, a 65-inch smart TV. That is a Samsung 65-inch smart TV and an Apple iPhone 16. Then, of course, there are lots of other prizes. There are what we call consolation prizes. Good. So buy your tickets, $10 per ticket. Contact Terence Harris. And, you know, I am a man, I like clarity. This $2,000, is it $2,000 US or is it $2,000 Guyana? I rather suspect it's $2,000 US. But I ain't want to have to put my foot in my mouth. So I got a call Terence right now and asking. Last I checked with him, he was on his way to work, so I'm not sure I'm going to get an answer. Well, I got an answer. Terence, boy, I'm looking at this roughly. This $2,000 cash is what, GT money or US money? Well, I see $2,000 cash as part of the price. All right or wrong? Well, I got to check back this thing. I'm wondering because I created a flyer and it got a $2,000 cash for it. All right. Yes, Flight TV, iPhone, and so. All right, I got to check it back. Good, buddy, good. All right, good. Good. You see, it's a good thing I call and check this thing because Terence said the prices that I put up wrong. But yeah, support the raffle. The raffle is in aid of the 7th annual track and field meet, Independence Track and Field Meet. And through that fundraising event, it also gives the athletes an opportunity to move on to overseas scholarship, US scholarships at colleges and universities in the US. Right? So support it. Support it. Oh, it might be the wrong information. I know the ticket prices, right? $10 a ticket, $100 a book. Some of the prices there are definitely correct. I know of the wrong trip. I know of the TV and so on. But I'm gonna go back and check the thing. Right? The $10 per ticket price is US. Is US. This raffle is really taking place in the US, you know. In your country, Denise. This raffle is really taking place in your country. Right? Good. Of course, I usually support everything that we're doing for the community, so I'm advertising it here. And those of us who are here and got a friend who might say, hey, buy a book for me. I want to win the TV or I want to win the wrong trip. I like me want to go to the US this year again. I gonna win the wrong trip. Well, I don't wait. Anyways, yes, Free Talk Friday lines are open. It's 30 minutes to the 8 o'clock hour. Let me play a little bit of Lionel Abel and then we'll come back and talk about things that we need to talk about. Serious things. Here's Lionel for you. Papa Tune on a rainy Friday. I mean, we got some sun right now, but it's projected that we're going to get some more rain a little later in the day. So walk with your rain. Actually, when you want to come to Miami for. I don't know me.
Once
I'm most comfortable in Buxton.
And that's all I keep thinking of. That's all I keep thinking of. Oh yeah. My loving eyes were too blind to see that the girl I love didn't love me. Oh yeah. I found out one night while we were at the dance, believe me, as I walked right up to her. Oh yeah. So I sat down all by myself, feeling so cold and sad. Said, oh, I lost the only love.
By the way, I only like me at Club Twilight on Sundays.
Oh yeah.
After lunch, all is at Club Twilight every Sunday. The thing is a blast. That is where I like me. Wally, good morning.
Good morning, Kadaki. Good morning, Kadaki. Good morning to all the other listeners and brothers and sisters. I have a few things to say today, First of all, the modus operandi of governance in Guyana has caused the citizenry to behave or to become what it is today. For example, you get school dropouts, serious crimes, rising serious crimes, suicide, rising suicide. You have mental issues. You got poor quality of infrastructural work done by the government. Everything is the government causing these. Road deaths, road accidents. In the agriculture field, look where sugar is right now. And the rice farmer, them, especially the small farmers, they're going through hell because the thing is now when they carry the paddy in, when they cut the rice and they carry in the paddy, they got to wait 90 days before they could get their money. That ain't making no sense because after 90 days now what happen? You can't go in a crop. You're late. The season gone. The paddy start to get it wouldn't grow, it get cold and all these things. You see, I blame the government for all these things. Then you got fear because people don't want to come out and talk out. So they get fear. They be afraid of the government. Right? Because of the modus operandi, the way how they're running the country today. You know what I mean? And then they get this new border council, what they say they make. This new border council. I think that is to certify the cocaine to pass. Yeah, because what happened to the advisor, the national security advisor, what happened to you and all that, what happened to that? They ain't working no more. They're making new border council now. And all they're going to do is just certify the cocaine for pass. One must pass and one must get catch. There's me. This is my assessment of Guyana government. We have to get together, black people. We really have to get together. Because when you are a thief in power, you set up system to thief and to hide the truth and to have no accountability to anyone because you're in power, right? So imagine we got a commissioner and he sit down there, right, and allow all these things to go over his head. He building a very nice record when he left as a commissioner. He building a nice record, yeah, in history. Police shooting people at will. Nothing ain't coming out of the story then. And then who shooting who? Black people shooting black people. Remember when last year police shoot an Indian person? An Indian man shoot a police. And that story, me even here were going on up to now that dead. Shoot a police, dead. And then I get this one now, Stephen Jacobs. He go in the United Nations Forum for African reparation thing and so on. He go in there for talk for we. And he can't even talk for black people in Guyana. He can't talk what the PPP doing wrong for black people in Guyana. And he go in there and talk for we. Eh? Watch where we there. I showing you where black people there in this country. Whether we on this side or on that side, we ain't nothing in the eyes of the PPP government. And look the disrespect at the Banya school. Look the disrespect. Hmm? You opening a school without furniture, get children sitting on the ground. And then look at the children again, black people children and poor people children. Look. The government, they could thief the money and send their children to private school and so on. So they don't care. They don't care. Right? And now they bring out EID card. And they can't do biometrics for election. You see these people taking we for nothing. What we are, black people, we better come together. We better come together. We put the less stupid, petty difference aside and come together. Because at the end of the day, whether we on this side or that side, we're still suffering. Or in Boston, who ordered the hit on our in Boston? Up to now, we ain't know, right? Who went to jail for the state or in Boston story? Black people again. Hmm? The Oren Boston family, they should sue the government. I don't care if they do it or they should do it again because the man guilty. You find somebody guilty, so they should sue them again. Yeah, for enough money. Adriana Young story. Who then bring out for talk to them people when the people they were behaving bad? Well, when the people they were protesting. Who they bring for talk to them? And who shoot people there during them time and kill them? Black people again, black people, black people, black people, black people. But you know what troubled me the most? You know what troubled me the most? This government, right? They treat black people like dogs. And they get some big, strong black man to stand guard around them. You know, it's like, it's like when a bad man bring his son. His son is a little magabai, he ain't really nothing. But he bring his son for beat up another boy. Why his son can't stand up in front on his own. But because his daddy there, this big, strong, bad man there, say, beat ass good. And that is why he's seeing. They get a big, strong man stand up and they're allowing the government to beat the other man, which is the opposition people, which is black people. They get a big, strong man stand up and say, beat the backside. We don't care. Beat them good. Right? Whereas if you left the two of them together, the government can't beat the people. But because they got these big bulldogs around them, you know? And these things bothering me, man. But anyway, I ain't gonna say nothing more because I getting hot. Thank you for the time. All right, bye.
Thank you for your call. Let me remind you that at Full Spectrum Boutique, they cater for big and tall men with big feet and other big things. They've got you covered. Call June on 699-5987. Call June on 699-5987 for Full Spectrum Boutique. They also cater for children and women, right? Not only men with big feet and big belly and so on. They cater for women and children. So call June 699-5987. Full Spectrum. Let me tell you something, right? Let me thank the caller for that call. Thank the caller for that call and the issues he has raised. For example, the rice farmers, when they take the paddy to the mill, they gotta wait for 90 days. Ghana got a 90-day sick. Ghana has a 90-day sick. You join the public service and you gotta wait for 90 days before you can get your first paycheck and all those kind of things. And we blame the government. And we blame the millers. And we blame everybody except ourselves. Sometimes I think there's some simple solutions to a lot of the difficult things that we face. But we continue to face those difficulties because we don't have unity. And we don't work in cohesion. We're not cohesive as a people. Just like the eye. If all the rice farmers are come together and say, we ain't selling no rice to no mill that giving me a 90-day, that needs a 90-day layover. We can't afford to sell our paddy to anybody that needs 90 days. Because if somebody needs 90 days to pay me for my paddy, it is suggesting to me that they fry me with my own fat. They fry me with my own fat. I gotta find the resources to plant the rice. I gotta find the resources to reap it. I have to transport it to the mill. In short, I have to put in all of the investments. And then you will simply mill it, sell it, and take all of the profits. That's what it comes down to. Because of 90-day wait, obviously, it's for them to sell my rice and then take out the capital to give me. And they keep the profit. What look they like? A jackass or a journey jackass? I mean, business has layover. Business has layover. Most of us do credit business. We got a line of credit. But you're telling me as a farmer, having to make all of that investment, I have to wait 90 days before I can be paid for what I provide to you. And the farmers accept it. Why? Because they believe they don't have a choice. But if all of them band themselves together, then the millers going to get it right. Like if all Guyanese band themselves together, then the PPP going to get it right. But we all act in our individualistic interest. Individualism is what is destroying us in this country. Until we start looking out for the community and start taking community actions, communal actions, then we're going to continue to subject ourselves to such abuses. Ask all the political parties that went to the last election as individuals. Ask them. I know they wake up yet, but ask them. And you know, we got the issue of children sitting on the floor at Bami and so on and so forth. I show children in sitting on the floor at Tain and Unity and so on and so forth. I'm sure about that. Where are the parents that used to, again, act in unison? in the interest of their children's well-being, and band themselves together and find themselves in front of the Ministry of Education and chant them down for the wickedness that they're doing or their failures. Where are the parents? There was a time when parents used to be in front of the Ministry of Education at the drop of a hat to defend the rights of their children to proper education and environment. Where are those parents? Have they become so docile that they can sit back and allow their children to sit on the floor? Huh? Call all the line on mute, please. Have they become so docile? A lot of the abuses we take in this country, the answer is simple. We need unity. We need cohesion. You got an entire examination level. The children sitting on the floor, and you mean to tell me that those parents, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, how many of them can't band themselves together, get together one afternoon and make a plan and write some placards and go in front of the Department of Education and tell them that they don't sit on floors, and so they must not put their children to sit on floors? All we're doing is blame the government and social media and so on. And some of these things are very simple to address. The government is responsible. The government has the resources. They control the resources. But unless we demand that they use it in appropriate ways, then we are going to continue to subject our children to this disrespect. Call you on. Good morning. Speak.
Good morning, Mr. Amsterdam, and thank you for taking my call this morning. I want to agree with you with the parents of students of Bamia that they should protest to get better accommodation. Mr. Amsterdam, I want to address you. Earlier this week, you were talking about the government of Guyana owing City Hall a couple $1 billion in taxes. I would really like you to elaborate on that, and what is the time span? And if from 2020 to from 2015 to 2020, why your government did settle that debt, or if that debt was accumulated from 2020 to now. And then there's another issue with the PNC, your party, owing almost $6 billion in debts and taxes to City Hall too. So please speak about that. And Mr. Amsterdam, I know you abuse me and you're gonna call me all kind of names, but let's be respectful to each other this morning. I keep telling you I could take it, but sometimes I think I get to you when I ask you questions, and I ask you the right questions. That is why you abuse me out to get out of answering properly, you know? So let's be respectful to each other and elaborate on those points I asked you. Thank you for taking my call, sir. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Yeah, I just abuse you out. And I'm going to continue to call you the most imbecilic human being that got on the face of the earth. At least that caused this program. You're the most imbecilic. First and foremost, you ain't got no right calling me to tell me what I must or should do. You can't send me to do anything on your behalf. I'm not your servant. I'm not your stooge like you are to the PPP. The PPP could send you out to come on Mr. Amsterdam program and talk nonsense. How long this debt was owed and why your government didn't pay it? Jackass. Even if it were accumulated prior to 2015, which it was, your government, according to you, the PPP, was responsible for that accumulation. The coalition made efforts while they were there for a mere 5 years. I'm giving you the entire term. They made efforts while they were there for a mere 5 years. Georgetown has never been cleaner. before and after 2015 to 2020. Georgetown has never been cleaner. Call all the line and mute, please. Georgetown has never been cleaner. Call and mute, please. Earlier this week, Mr. Jordan provided figures of the amount of financial resources that the coalition government gave to City Council. Gave to City Council. The support that they gave them. I remember clearly, and Mr. Jordan mentioned it earlier this week, that the coalition government, very early in their term, paid off contractors that were owed by City Hall. And in my mind, they paid them off to avert a crisis, a garbage collection crisis, because like everything else, the PPP business people or the PPP controlled business people, the friends and cronies of the PPP that have been doing business with agencies of the state and the city, were conspiring against the coalition government. As soon as the coalition government came into office, Gaisuko bankrupt. As soon as the coalition government came into office, there was a foreign currency shortage. As soon as the coalition government came into office, the contractors, the garbage contractors, I think they went on strike. They threatened to withdraw their services from City Hall. The coalition government handled all of that without saying it's a PPP created this problem. Government is continuous. The coalition government never said is a PPP created and we're not going to deal with it. Look at the release of payment. Look at all of the court awards, financial lawsuits and so on that the coalition had to take care of that were left by the PPP. The coalition handled it. They take it like a man. They deal with it. And City Hall was getting resources. And this idiot come telling me this morning or asking me why the coalition didn't pay the City Hall. They didn't got the kind of money that the PPP got now, but they were making efforts. We weren't producing 9,000 barrels a day or whatever it is, oil. We weren't the fastest growing economy at the time. So there can be no excuse right now for the PPP not paying up what is due to City Council instead of fighting City Council to take away what is controlled by City Council. So you go tell your handlers, I say, so you're an imbecile. Call you can speak.
Greetings, Brother Kadaki. Greetings to all viewers. So, I just sit down and study us as a people when it comes to the government and the writing is on the wall, big. This is not things that people be fabricating and all them things. This is things really showing up. So I would say that we got to find strategies as Black people to relate to one another. So, and this big brother that come on, because I know he's a Black brother, that come on and talk just now, the one that he answer. And then he say that let me don't cuss out or abuse out, let me don't, when he was telling the things. So I want to address it in cool manner. My brother, if you're listening this program, listen. He's a Black brother talking to you. First thing, let me tell you something. When it comes to Indian people, Indian people ain't got nothing for we. So we don't want nothing from Indian people. So it's not nothing about the people, the grassroots. It's a system run by some evil Indian men. And if you, my brother, could come on a show, on this show, and just sift out them two reasoning and forget things, let you go on to your own black brothers and sisters, them. If you're making comparison, you see for the piece of 5 years, because I show you as a young man, and you come up most of your life on the PPP. And for the 5 years that the APN, you didn't do nothing according to plenty like you. You sit down and you just measure it, my brother. You just measure that. It's sad. But Kadaki, we got some works. We got to approach this thing with life. Because it's them same barriers make you see we getting to deal with the system. Like the brother that come on there. Real shame on you, brother. Shame on you. Look the kind of disrespect. I've seen the PPP going office. A top liar politician in this country, son. A big liar, son. Spit in a black sister face. And people like you gotta forget white power. When you say ayo, you say, and you bypass the brother. You ever hear that happen on the Granger government? To we Indian brothers and sisters, them, a buy taxi, you pay it all the way, and you come on the program, and you talk like you know, you're so balanced in your eye. Sad, we got a lot of work to do. And we got to start really approaching your loved ones and them kind of thing and reason with them. With y'all falling astray to this wicked government. Sad, my brother. Thanks for your time, my brother Kadaki.
Community, party time.
Coming on the street on a chuk-chuk train. Pick up some people, they're not the same. Wearing fancy clothes with different design. Sporting on pure bread and wine. And if you hear them party time, you give me all night, hey, party time. Sport is my line, party time. Give me all night, hey, party time. Sport is my line.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Kadaki, and to the entire listening public. Now, as we approach the independence season, that is when of 6 years of being independent. That is when we gain our national symbols of nationhood. The flag, the coat of arms, our motto, one people, one nation, one destiny, our national anthem, and our national pledge. Well, you know, I went to Monkey Mountain, and before I went into Monkey Mountain, I got to meet them the Tuesday. I decided to cross over and see a little bit of Brazil. And when I was crossing the Takatu Bridge, I was shocked to see they were having two flags. On the northern part of Brazil, it was the Brazilian flag to say you've gone into Brazil. And the southern tip was, as halfway the river, was the Guyana flag. Now the Guyana flag that was there was a tattered golden arrowhead, about more than the green does extend over the white. The old green was teared, jagged, and fluttering in the wind. Cause good wind. Now I would like that flag could be changed. Now the first thing you note for a country, you may know the national anthem of another country if it's popular. Cause I know stranger got this thing, what it does, the American national anthem, a few lines. I think I know anyway, but I know North America by its flag. Certain countries, you know them by their flags. And if our country is to be known by its flag, we must have proper flags being displayed where it is being noticed. Because if you never come to Guyana and you first visit and you see the flag, what they got at the junction, the end of Guyana, the southernmost end, Guyana put the flag to the ocean. The southern end of Guyana, it is telling you the quality of the people who are running this country. This is not a thing to blame. Let our nation, our symbols be of quality, because I felt as a person, and you know how patriotic I am, I was alarmed, I was disgusted. I took the picture, but because it's a still picture, I can't get it. But what I'm going to do, Mr. Amsterdam, I'm going to send the picture to you, and I want you, don't say that abroad, we're running the show. Please, I'm begging you to put up that flag until till for this season, this independent season, when we lowered the Union Jack at minutes to midnight on the 26th of May. The flag was lowered like minutes to midnight, the 25th, and we hoisted the golden arrowhead. That was our flag. That is what Barnum gave me. Is it to say that all the things that President Lyndon Ford Sampson Barnum did in his tenure as a president to bring this country to where it was? You mean all these things the PPP party means to continue on a daily basis to destroy? Minister Jordan spoke about the arch that they're looking to have destroyed, because the PPP don't stop to say that these things that were gotten in the PNC time are things that should go forward. What did the PPP give to us? The PPP gave to us strikes, upon that, a division of people in the country running along. Now this thing with the schools, a comment was made early in the week where they found a child with a penknife at one of the top schools, Maze. Now, just like how they are finding those implements in other schools, the private school will have more implements like that and of higher qualities. But because those schools are private schools, and we all see that the police could only run records in the African area, why the police don't go into those top ranking schools and carry out cleaning up and show us, like how they show what they find in East School, show us what they pick up in the private schools. And the private school will be having more sophisticated weapons than the low schools, because the money gonna be within the private schools. The parents gonna get access to more sophisticated weapons. And for Barnia, I pray that they could think, but they didn't call on who they vote for. They voted for Win. Win is a man with money. According to his members, I say, Win got money. Why Win don't go and furnish the school? But what they didn't know, that Win they're looking for a place in the sun to look after Win own problems. And Win in had no time to look after the problems of the ordinary people who voted for him. Lastly, they told the your age and the young parents that he will look after her problem when he gets into power. To date, I haven't heard him making any mention about them. So I hope that at least he could carry out one of his prophecies for his manifesto to the run-up to election. Bye-bye. and the young parents that even look after our problem when it gets in the power. The thing I haven't
Good morning, Kadaki. Um, Something puzzling about this cash grant as it relates to old age pensioners with disabilities. I recognize that quite recently, when the grant was paid to persons with disabilities, it excluded old age pensioners that were having disabilities. And at the NDC, you're being told that the Human Services Ministry has submitted a list of persons with disabilities so that they can be assisted in registering for a cash grant. But I have a grave concern with this because if in the past, when you were paying out the cash grant to persons with disabilities, old age pensioners were excluded, there is a likelihood that they will be excluded from this list submitted by the Human Services Ministry. And I would be happy if the Ministry of Human Services can clarify that aspect of it. In addition, you have persons with disabilities who are registered with the National Commission on Disability. So I'm wondering whether there was a collating of records between the National Commission on Disability and the Human Services Ministry as it relates to this current assistance that should be rendered to persons with disabilities who are old age pensioners as well as other old age pensioners. Thank you very much for accommodating me. Have a blessed day, and I keep listening to your programs.
Morning, Mr. Amsterdam.
Morning.
Why for everything that this government do, every project this government do, there's always a bundle of deficiencies. I sent you some pictures earlier in the week, and I think I'm overqualified to talk about this problem. There is, if you go down, I think that is which corner is that, boy? To the one break down though, right? It's Crow Street, yes. Crow Street just after that major road on Crow Street, that's South Road. Good. Go over Camp Street. Look on your left hand side on that building. There's an air conditioner that is hanging there. I took a photograph and showed the inspector over here that photograph. The inspector's right away said, "Where is this building? Let's go shut it down." Number one, they used a residential system, an indoor system, and hang it outside of the building. That's one. Number two, what they're doing is supplying the building with more humidity. There's no return because how air condition works is it moves airs, movement of air, extracting humidity. So what you do is supply cold air and suck that air out, recondition that air and send it back into the building, into the space, sorry. They're not doing that. They're cooling hot air from outside into the space. You know what will happen to those records in there? Mold, mildew. People will get sick inside of that space. It is ridiculous. Moved on to Brickdam Secondary. That's behind St. George's Cathedral. I see some classrooms are air conditioned. I can bet you my bottom dollar. Number one, those things are undersized. Number two, those kids sleep in that classroom. Air quality control, it governs and say, if ever you got 7 parts of carbon dioxide in a space, people will get drowsy. You have to extract that air and put in back fresh air, right? And I go through the country looking at projects that are being done in my field, and I'm appalled to see how money are being spent on waste because nothing is done right.
Nothing is done to code. And I wish you could throw those pictures up, right? And compare it to my installation there that I've sent you. That's all.
Good morning, Mr. Amsterdam, and all listeners. This is my first time calling in. I'm a regular listener. I'll condone with what the woman was saying before. I was trying to get down to them. Pertaining to respecting to our national flag, you could not have even put it on the ground. Now I'm seeing that they're getting it on the ground, and it's atrocious what they're doing. Disrespecting our country, disrespecting our national motto, our national pledge is very disrespecting, and I condone what the woman was saying. Thank you.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
Every time I take you out to party, you want to sleep. Oh man, and you always angry if another man dance with me. Oh man, just when I'm having fun and I'm feeling happy, that's the time you want to go home. All night you're sitting down, now you're in a hurry. I make up my mind on tonight, darling. We don't have a big fight, so cool it down. Darling, I ain't ready. I said cool it down. Tonight is mine. Cool it down. Darling, I ain't ready. Honey, cool it down. Let's have a good time. You only had to drink a whiskey and lying on the floor. Oh man, the first time that I met you, baby, it wasn't so. Oh man.
It's a drop back world where you think you're going to stay the same way all the time. You getting big. Well, by the way, it is 29 minutes to 9 o'clock hour, and it's the 24th day of April in the year 2026. We're still tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. I'm still your host. I have one voice note I wish to play, and then I want to talk about another very interesting and troublesome issue in this country.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, all right, thinking Guyanese. What a this guy Mohammed. If we black people can realize and get conscious that Mohammed is a fake for black people, Mohammed want to capture black people to help broke up the PNCR party. something wrong with us if we can't realize that something wrong with us. This man just probably showing himself around this country just because he want to save his ass and get back all his assets that the PPP are freeze from him. You understand me? This man don't have no interest into Guyanese. This man don't have no interest into the people of this cooperative Republic of Guyana. This man is all about himself and himself alone. Now this man is opposition leader. This man is doing nothing what it takes to be an opposition leader. Look at the 12 disciples. They look like the opposition, the main opposition. Trust me, if you look and see what these people doing in this country, the 12 disciples, this man got no class, no space within this 12 to show himself that he's an opposition leader. Come on, bro. Look where this man going in. This man going into all the stronghold of the PNC and the APNU and try to show himself that he love and he care for black people. Come on, bro. You not care for black people. You care for your bloody self. You understand me? You care for yourself. And black people got to realize this man is a joke. This man is one of the most biggest joke we got in this country, along with the PPP party. He come from the PPP. He's a PPP. Yes, he don't want to join with the APNU and the PNC. Don't want to join with them because you know, you're telling you shit a bucket load of shit if you go to the PNC and the APNU. So guys, we got to wake up. We got to wake up. This man is showing himself as no opposition leader in this country. This man is not what it takes to be an opposition leader. And if we can't come to ourselves as black people and as Guyanese in this local government election, chat will shit man with now. And plus we will hit it. You understand me? Come on, bro, we gotta wake up, man. What were the police doing to black people in this country? And we ain't doing nothing to the police. The police coming right back home and wrap up with us. We gotta do something for this thing. Stop this thing going on and on. Watch out the man last he foot got 5 children to mine. Oh my God, what going on in Guyana, man? What's going on? Listen, they can't even investigate a death by the police station. I want to remind Mr. Paul Slow, 2 died at Lenore police station. So don't forget Lenore police station, 2. I think it's 3, but I know for sure it's 2. You understand me? One from the Namsel, somebody from the Namsel was dying the lock up of Lenore police station. Anyhow, just y'all have an awesome day. Thank God it's Friday. Y'all have a happy weekend. Big up yourself, Kidaki. Big up yourself, Coretta McDonald. And Wayne Caesar. Nice program. Big up yourself, Dr. Hines. And the opposition, the PNC leader, Mr. Cup, Aubrey Compton North, and the 12 disciples. Big up yourself. At all time. Y'all doing a wonderful job. Keep it up. Don't shake these people hand. Don't hug up these people. These people are evil. Y'all have a blessed day.
Cool it down. I tell you, cool it down.
Kadaki, blessings and good morning to you, my brother. Blessings to our listeners from the diaspora and from the 4 corners of the globe. Kadaki, I want to make 2 contributions this morning. The first contribution is pertaining to Irfan Ali. I look at a clip from Sher Duncan on one of his nightly shows where Irfan Ali was behaving like a pastor, shouting to the top of his voice and saying that how he will claim Georgetown. He won Georgetown. Irfan Ali, you need to go and see about yourself. Where your heart is and your mind is in the wrong place. You are very incompetent. And you're just not incompetent alone, you're incompetent with arrogance. And once you're incompetence with arrogance is disaster. And that's how Guyana running. Guyana is in a disastrous state. Leave Georgetown alone. If you look at the Caribbean, all these cities been run by municipal, never run by a central government. Leave Georgetown. Georgetown and belongs to you, neither the PPP. I don't know what it is all you want, but I go tell you this. GCOM have to be compromised, have to be compromised. If G come in compromise, all of them going in jail, you know. Every one of all you going in jail. And you see all the money that all you thieving and putting up big building, all you pray to God that all you stay there forever. But all you will not be there forever. All you will not be there forever. All you will spend the rest of all your life in jail. The state will seize all them big buildings that all your thief money, get kicked back and thief money and build building and stuff like that. Karaki, my second contribution is about Anil Nanalal. Well, everybody know that Nandalal is a dunce. It's not nothing new. We all know that he's a dunce. But Nandalal should emphasize more on thieving and lying because he's very good at that. He's not good in law. She spend the rest of her life thieving and lying. But Karaki, all you try all your utmost best and don't let this man leave Guyana and go out to represent all you in nothing, you know. Because he is a disaster by himself. And the sad part about this man have no shame. I turned on my TV yesterday and I saw he on a press conference speaking about the same extradition thing where the Caribbean Court of Justice manners him and put him in his place. He come to talk about that like if nobody don't know what it is went on. And Analal, I think you should go back to school and start from kindergarten. Karaki, I'm out and listening. And my brother have a safe and blessed weekend and stay out from them guys' way.
I don't know. I'm not in anybody's way. If anybody getting in anybody's way, they're coming in me way. I don't. I don't go in nobody way. I am a corner. Welcome back. You still tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. You see, I had up Thomas Jason Anderson there, and I'm sure a lot of you would have heard that recording from Thomas Anderson. And those of you who didn't hear it, I may play it at the end of the program for you to listen to. But Thomas Anderson basically say, listen, what's happening in this country is the deep state running things, and the deep state consists of a set of people who have all been compromised, and they got secrets to one another. I want to ask a question. If it's a set of compromised people, why we can't deal with them? Why we can't deal with them? Anderson is arguing that the deep state is a set of compromised American senators, etc., people who swore to uphold the Constitution of the U.S., but in actuality, they don't uphold the Constitution of the U.S. because they're breaching the Constitution all around the world by getting into bed with the people like corrupt PPP and so on and so forth. And so I want to believe if you argue the PPP a real tackle, then the legitimate U.S. government is supposed to not interfere with you because you're dealing with people from the deep state. There's only my logic. I don't know if I'm logical at all, but y'all can hear. I can play Anderson for y'all just now. But an important thing I want to talk about. I thought I was going to show the videos, but on second thought, I don't want to show the videos. I want to talk about this. Early in the week, I saw Well, throughout the week, I've been seeing some videos on TikTok. I spend a lot of time on TikTok these days. Um, First video I saw is came from a business named Tasty Tenders or something like that. Tasty Tenders or something. Chinese owned apparently. And somebody was complaining about buying a meal from these people and what they found in the meat in the burger. I think it was a burger. Whatever they found what they found in the product was most disgusting. A whole nest of eggs, fly eggs, in the product. That's one instance. The next instance, I saw another video of somebody complaining that they bought crab curry or curry crab from a regular place, and they started eating, and when they got to the crab of itself, again they saw a whole nest of something nasty inside. And this morning I received another video of somebody buying Chinese food from Durban Street. Golden Pagoda, I think that business is called. And when they got to the shrimp, I think, they found what appears to be maggot on it. Maggot. A very disgusting situation again. In short, there are lots of encounters out there because I've seen lots of other encounters. You know of the famous egg ball story with chewing gum inside. This same Golden Pagoda some years ago had a situation where teeth looking like dentures, right, was found in their food. Quite sickening and frightening. Sickening and frightening because Guyana has become a fast food society. Right? Guyana has become a fast food society. And like I said earlier in the week, if you have a country that is quote unquote expanding at the rate it is expanding, more than anything else, oversight is extremely important. Oversight is extremely important. I know I grew up as a youngster with the food and health and safety. I can't remember the correct name, but it might be food analyst and drug department, perhaps. But you had the vector control unit. Let me start. The vector control unit used to go around and they used to examine yards to see if you have containers that can harbor mosquitoes, etc. And every time they come and they inspect your yard and they fumigate and so on, they used to leave at least that was happening in the city. I lived in Kitty at that time. They leave a form, a card that indicated the date they visited and what they did. Restaurants used to be examined by the food safety department, division, whatever. And again, there used to be a card there indicating the visit and, whatever went on and clearance basically, and so on and so forth. I don't see these things happening anymore. I don't see them happening anymore. Ghana being a fast food society now, they've cleared up that area, but in front of Good Hope, you had, I would say, over 30 food carts. On Regent Street, there are lots of quote-unquote Venezuelans or Spanish, whatever they call them, who are out there with their hot dog carts and so on. And on a daily basis, you could see a lot of people crowding them and so on and so forth. Lots of Chinese food outlets or food joints, as we like to call them, are popping up. Tasty Tenders and Gangbao As a matter of fact, the other day I saw somebody complain about same nastiness from Gangbao. And as I'm talking about that, I got a report from Brickdam Secondary. The school canteen is accused because I got the photo, is alleged to have sold to children half-cooked chicken, not properly cooked chicken. And so you're having all of these Chinese food joints and so on, all kinds of names they come in with, and Guyanese, for some reason or other, like to rush to them and they're buying these things, and then you're seeing them publish all of the bad experiences. I believe, I'm forming my belief, that if the regulatory agencies do as they ought to, then a lot of these complaints could be eliminated. A lot of these exposures, threats to people's health could be eliminated. And so all y'all who sit down in government, whether it's at the Ministry of Labor, not paying attention to occupation, health, and safety, which ultimately will result in things like having that Atlantic Gardens with the bodies building. We are going to get some serious disasters in this country, serious health outbreaks. On the same thread of this person complaining about the maggots and so on that they found in the food from this restaurant, I saw somebody said they bought food there for the entire family, I think the Sunday before, and every single one of them got sick. Can you imagine the accident and emergency at the Georgetown Hospital or any hospital being overwhelmed by a number of persons getting sick from buying food from these places that have not been, that the authorities seem not to be taking stock of? And again, I'm saying, these things can continue to happen because we don't have unity in this country. We are individualistic in our approach to things. Because as soon as that the first publication is out about the quality of food or the nastiness that people are being served at these places, if everybody stops buying from them, then they're going to get it right. In fact, there might not even be a chance for them to get it right. They're going to just get it shut down because business will not happen anymore. And when that happens to one or two or three outlets, then others who are entering into the fast food market will understand that they cannot afford such mistakes, if they want to call them mistakes, because they're going to be out of business. The government has a responsibility through the various departments to protect the lives and health of citizens of this country. Even in the neighborhood democratic councils, call a hold of mute in the local NDC areas. I mean, I don't want to see people put out the bread because people got to hustle, people got to live, people got to eat. But it is naturally unsafe to see some quote unquote food vendors or joints operating on the railway line in this instance with all of the dust, all of that dust and grime, and people putting out food to sell and people buying food. It can't be healthy. It cannot be healthy. And the health and safety officers and the, what they call them, whatever, they seem not to care. But we're going to care when we have a serious outbreak of something. By then, a lot of people would have suffered. We could stop this before it happens. Call you on. And I think that person didn't stay on the line. All right, so we have to pay attention to these things. And I got away. I have not eaten from the Chinese cook shop since I was about age 11 or 13. 11 or 13. And so I tell people all the time, I don't eat Chinese food. And I don't eat from any and everywhere. You know, the irony is, I laugh because I usually tell people this. And I've seen it from our people. If a villager, let's say, or one of your countryman, a citizen comes into your joint and they call for a cook-up or a fried rice or a chow mein or any food that you're selling, and they get the impression that it was reheated, they cuss you out. They cuss you out and tell you you're selling overnight food. Nothing is necessarily wrong with the quality of the food, but they're going to cuss you out and tell you you're selling overnight food. And you pass them. But they line up at the Chinese restaurants to buy overnight food. Have you ever seen how the Chinese prepare their food? For the restaurants, they prepare in bulk. The rice is prepared in bulk. It is frozen it is frozen in the morning. It's taken out and it's rest there to thaw out and so on. As they go on order, they dip out a scoop and they throw it in the pan and they toss it with whatever vegetables and so on. And they serve you. Hey, I get good Chinese buy. But let your own locals serve you food like that and you're going to cuss them out. But you praise the Chinese food. I can't understand it. And so I laugh. I always look at that situation and laugh. I say if you give them good local cook-up rice overnight, they're going to cost you and tell you it's overnight food. But they're going and buy this nonsense that they didn't even know what they're eating. Call on. Good morning.
Good morning, Kadaki. Kadaki, you are right with those food. I remember someone had asked me to bring back Chinese food for them. And when I came with the Chinese food, I make sure I secure it properly. But Kadaki, when you see I reach home and I open that food turned to water. I was wondering what was in the food. I was wondering what it just swell up and get so soggy. It's like I was wondering food never don't spoil like that. So I don't know whatever they put in their food, it's not good. Because I brought food from Guyana that cooked at cooked at home, and it did not went like go like that. So maybe something that they put in the food, and whenever they develop, it will give you diarrhea and coughing and honestly, you gotta go to the hospital. You cannot stay home. So people just have to be aware because maybe they don't have proper heating uh, supplies or whatever, and because there's strict laws and rules and regulation on food service. So you have to be very, very cautious with food because food poisoning take some people life. So there has to be very careful. But anyway, Karaki, I just want to say to your listener and especially to all Guyanese, we just have to work towards to get whatever we want. We must work together with each other. If we do not work, we will be outside sitting at the corner. And if anybody could remember when Dr. Matthews came on to his talk show, what he was saying is the same thing is going on right now in Guyana. His words did not fall on deaf ears. Whatever he said is the same thing happening in Guyana. And I also want to say Spice Mango International Girls will be holding their annual Duvet and Carnival on the 22nd of May. We will be having the carnival through the middle street. because we don't have a place to have it. So we're having it through our middle street. So people need to come out and support. And on the 22nd of May, we will be having the kids carnival. So people need to come out, go and get yourself in order, get ready, get set. And especially for those kids who are taking their common entrance, please do good because I always tell you education is the key to success. Because if you can't read and you can't write, you'll be outside begging people for things that you don't want to beg. Education is the key thing to every single thing. So please continue to listen to Kadaki Show and listen carefully to the things what he's saying and to what others are saying. Please, people, stand up and listen. Fight for what you believe in because it is very sad. It makes me very sad to see our country is spiraling down in such a way because I usually get very sad if I'm listening or even if I'm talking about it. I get very emotional about my country. I love my country. I love it to the bone. Okay, good morning and goodbye. Have a blessed day.
Thank you for your call. I saw somebody saying there aren't many pure cook shops. But you got Lou's Kitchen. Come to Buxtonian Club Twilight. We got Lou's Kitchen. And you said there are not many Creole cook shop or there are not many Guyanese cook shop and so on. You ask yourself why? Y'all don't support them. Y'all don't support them. Y'all run to Papa John's, you run to KFC, you run to Pizza Hut, you run to Subway, you run to this, you run to that. To eat unhealthy foods. Processed foods. But you don't turn to your community Creole cook shop like Lou's Kitchen to get freshly prepared foods and support your local economy. You go to those foreign joints because you're part of the up and coming, you're part of high society if you could eat at these foreign joints. But you don't consider the impact not only on your pocket on a long term health wise, but on your health on a long term. You don't consider that. So it's easy to say, but there ain't got enough Creole cook shops or there ain't got enough Creole food places. Y'all don't support them. It's 9 o'clock. I say I'm gonna put on Thomas Anderson for y'all listen to, or Anderson, whatever you name for y'all listen to. So y'all listen to Anderson. Those of you who haven't heard, listen. There's the thing there. We gotta do better. One of the things I know we have been told to eat our green leafy vegetables and so on and so forth. And one of the things I'll tell you about as a word of caution, we like our green salad or garden salad as we call it. But I've been reflecting for a while. If you see how cabbage is cultivated, cabbage is one of the more dangerous vegetable to be used raw because it folds. And with the amount of pesticides that we use in this country, the amount of fertilizers that we use in this country, cabbage folds in everything. But a lot of us like to see the little raw cabbage on our fried rice. Right? We like to see the little raw tomato, the raw lettuce, and so on and so forth. 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 But I've been observing, and I personally am concerned about the risk to our health if we continue to use these things in the raw state. And so, for the most part, if you come to Lou's Kitchen, what I will offer you is stir-fried vegetables. It passes you the heat. Because the heat, if it doesn't eliminate all, it will minimize whatever. And my advice to people is, y'all stop going for them green salads we like to say, or those raw salads we like to say. Pass it through some heat. Because the level of pesticides and fertilizers, the amount of pesticides and fertilizers being used in this country, it's going to show up with a lot of us having kidney diseases. Again, I'm not a medical professional. I just think I'm logical. I don't know if I'm logical or if you think I'm logical, but I try to be logical. We have to take measures to protect our health. And a lot of things that impact our health has a lot to do with what we eat. I want to take my leave of you. I know, like a last video, and I ain't even look for it again. Oh, I think I see it. Yeah, it's there. I listen to Thomas Anderson, and then I'll shut the program. Have a great day. Much love. Enjoy your weekend. Come down to Buxton Sunday. We have after lunch release. The sister of Denise is going to. There's a viewing for the sister of Denise Barnett in the US this Sunday. They're streaming on YouTube. If anybody wants the link, you can hit me up. I can send it to you. But I will also try to put it on Camps TV so you can get to look. Okay? Yeah, listen to Anderson. And understand. Anderson says a bit tricky trick being played. This is why Anil is doing all that he's doing to bring the extradition hearings into disrepute and so on. So eventually he can get through out. And then PPP buys financer. The Mohammeds will not move 1 inch from Guyana, but they will be restored to their greatness. Y'all listen.
Anderson. So it's about that time, guys. It's that time for people to hear what's really happening in the background, behind some of the madness in places like Guyana. And so this isn't just for the people of Guyana. This is for Americans who are interested in what our nation is doing abroad, how we are handling our foreign policy, why certain things don't seem to make sense when we are out here doing what we do. I think the situation in Guyana is the perfect situation to use as an example of how American foreign policy gets knocked sideways or is, how can I put it, or is manipulated to have our nation and our resources, our good people, our military, our State Department, to have them doing things that are not only against our best interest in the United States, but against the best interests of the people and nations that we are involved in. And so Guyana is a good example. And it's something that I've been, people have been a little upset lately because I've been posting a lot on Guyana. And they think that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm just coming around for attention. But for those of you who are new, for those of you who have already been following me, you know I have been doing this now for 15 years, over 15 years, since 2009. For those of you who are new and are watching right now, I am not just some person off the street that just started this. I've been on this since 2009. My reporting has led to convictions, corruption convictions in the United States against U.S. government officials who were taking bribes from the PPP government. I'm going to repeat it again. My work, my research journalism work has led to elected government officials in the United States going to jail for taking bribes from PPP individuals from Guyana. So I'm not new to this. I've been at this for a very long time. I've been reporting on the Mohammeds. For those of you who do not know, Azruddin and Shell Mohammed, father and son, they were Guyana's biggest bankers. They had the biggest cambio. They were also the biggest gold traders in Guyana. I say were because they were put under sanctions by the U.S. Treasury, OFAC sanctions, full sanctions under the Magnitsky Act. And on top of that, they've been getting broken down by their own PPP government now since they've been on sanctions. And so they were the biggest bankers and they were the biggest gold traders, but that has ended. They're under immense pressure now. They're facing an indictment in South Florida, federal court, for smuggling gold, amongst other things. Some of the stuff is sealed, so we do not know what else they're being accused of. They're currently in the middle of a huge fight over extradition. The United States State Department requested on behalf of the Southern District of Florida that the Mohammeds be extradited to the United States to face the charges that were brought against them by the grand jury in Miami, Florida. That has led, so the United States has done their part. They've put in the extradition order. That has led to an entire farcical set of events where the government in charge, the PPP, have been playing games mainly through their Attorney General, Anil Non-Law. He's been sabotaging the process the entire time. He's been going on television every chance he gets to act like a clown, totally tainting not just the extradition process, but the actual criminal case in Miami. I've never seen in my life a government official act more retarded or unprofessional than the Guyanese Attorney General. He should be brought up on charges, not for being corrupt, for being stupid, and for being a clown. Straight up. That's what's going on. They have an Attorney General who has turned the entire extradition process into a clown show on purpose. It's on purpose. Okay? And he's trying to pretend like, oh, I'm just some third world guy. I'm just making mistakes because I'm just a stupid guy. He ain't stupid. He's been stealing law books and everything else for I don't know how long. He knows what he's doing. He's sabotaging the case. And the reason why he's sabotaging it is because many people, not just in Guyana, but in the United States, do not want the Mohammeds to have to be here in the United States giving over information they know to the authorities here about how that nation's elections were rigged. Okay? The current government who is in power now, they rigged the elections. Total rig job. With the help of Americans. That's right. And probably at the behest of Americans. So the Mohammeds have the receipts and they can blow this whole thing wide open. It's not a joke rigging elections. It's not a joke. Okay? And the people here that were involved in that know it's not a joke. All right? With that said, the reason why I believe this has gone sideways is because of something we call here in the United States the deep state. Okay? The deep state is essentially the government acting, people within our government grouping together secretly to form a shadow government that acts and behaves and does things that are above the law. They cannot be prosecuted. And so what that's led to is, first of all, the secrecy is a problem. Because here's the thing. When you're an elected official in the United States, you swear an oath to the United States Constitution. That's what you work for. the Constitution. Okay, nothing else. That's bottom line. Okay, but these deep state guys have made oaths to themselves, to their group, that supersedes their oath to the Constitution. So they should all be in prison, all of them in the deep state. But the reason why they can't go to jail is because most of them are within law enforcement. They're within our agencies, like our Department of Justice, CIA, NSA, FBI, and they're all in there secretly. And so how does it, I've always wondered, and I have some experience now after dealing with some of these guys here. I've always wondered, well, how do they keep their secret so tight? Like, how can you have so many people keeping such a huge secret and working in concert like the way that they do? And the hint, the way the way that they group together and the way that this happens, you can look at some rappers, for example. I won't name any names, but they like to throw up hand signs and they like to brag that they're in the Illuminati. Okay. That's how the deep state, that's how they stay together. These people have made oaths to secret societies, the Illuminati, different Mason organizations, you name it. Okay. And when they make these oaths, these are blood oaths. And the way they get into these groups is not simply, yeah, I agree with what you guys are doing. They sacrifice people to get into these groups. Innocent people, preferably. In other words, in order to get into the deep state in the United States, not only do you have to be a high-level government official, but you have to be willing to put to death or take away from this planet an innocent person who may be living a righteous life, doing the right thing, but is giving problems to these secret organizations. And so to get in, they have to sacrifice innocent people in their lives, throw them in jail for things they did not do, go after their spouses, go after their finances, go after their jobs. This is what they have to do to get into it, right? And then once they're in, once they've paid the price of blood to get in, and once they've made this secret oath that supersedes their oath to the Constitution, now they really go crazy. Now they use the government itself against the entire world on behalf of their secret clique, deep state bullshit. All right. The reason why I might sound a little bit mad is because I'm sick and tired of them. They have run amok. They have run amok, and they're running amok in Guyana right now. All right. That's the reality. That's why this stuff makes no sense. That's why it seems like what's happening now can't be stopped. That's why it seems like this is going to go on and on and on forever, because they are literally acting above the law through their little side oaths with their little secret Mason lodges, their Illuminati groups, whatever you want to call it. That's what they're doing. Okay. Now, the other way that they get these guys in there. So here's what happens. The reason why they force a sacrifice to get into their little club is because they use that as blackmail against the person who's come into the deep state. So what happens is a government official abuses their power. They throw someone in jail who's innocent. They murder someone who's innocent. And now the Illuminati or the Mason group, now they have proof that this government official broke the law and murdered someone. And with that evidence, that's how they get into the club, because now they can blackmail them. Now they can trust them. And if you don't do something like that, then you can't get in, because every single person in the deep state has something on them to make everyone trust them. Something terrible, something horrible. Okay? This is why you hear rumors about children being sacrificed, about pedophilia. This is why. Because whatever they do to get into the deep state, it has to be so bad that if it came out, their whole life would be destroyed. That's the only way these guys can stick together. That's the only way they can band together. They don't actually like each other. They don't actually agree with each other. They hate each other. From what I found, I've met a bunch of them. They don't like each other. But they're bound because they're all being blackmailed, because they all did horrible things to get into the organization. And so this is an evil stain on the earth right now. It's horrendous. It's out of control. And it's basically anyone who tries to enter an elite status within the media, within the tech world, within politics, they all have to get faced with the choice. Will you join up with the deep state, with these secret societies? Or will you try to fend for yourself on your own, knowing that these guys are above the law and they're going to come for you now that you told them no? There's this saying here in the United States, silver or lead. They offer you silver first, and if you reject it, they give you lead next. Well, bullets are made of lead. That's the deal. So you either take the bribe in silver or you take the bullet to the head. That's how they roll. And so everyone who's faced with that, who's trying to make it into these elite sectors in society, they're faced with, do I take the silver or do I take the lead? And almost everyone takes the silver, okay? Because the people who took the lead, they're not here anymore. Sorry. That's how it works. So that's what we're running into when it comes to the Mohammeds in Guyana, is the PPP government. And for those who do not know, the PPP is a political organization in Guyana. It's the ruling party in Guyana. They are working with shadowy individuals in the United States. Some people call them lobbyists. Some people call them, I won't name any names, but they're working with a lot of shadowy people who are not publicly showing everyone what they're doing in Guyana. Americans. Okay, they're working with these Americans. And these Americans are a part of the deep state. And so these Americans have all taken the blood oath to get into the group. They've all made some sacrifice. They're all being blackmailed. Period. That's what's happening. And so the PPP, they are partnering with these Americans who are not going by the United States Constitution. They're not. They've broken that oath. These are criminals. Even though they still hold office right now, even though these are upstanding officials, the reality is they've broken their oath secretly. And they're working on behalf of the deep state. They're blackmailed. And they're doing every evil thing under the sun. All right? That's who the PPP is working with in part. Not everyone, not every American the PPP is working with deep state. No, there's just a handful. There aren't that many, actually. Most Americans aren't even aware of this. Even the ones in the State Department on the ground, they don't know about this world. They've never been approached by the deep state. They've never been faced with the silver or lead choice, a lot of them. They're actually doing their jobs. They're actually abiding by the Constitution they swore by. They swore an allegiance to. That's most of the Americans. But the problem is, it's this little handful of deep state people who are causing all of the havoc. And the havoc is surrounding the Mohammeds. And the reason why it's surrounding the Mohammeds is because the deep state was involved with rigging the election in Guyana in 2020. All right? They were probably involved in rigging the election this time around as well. But the key is that the Mohammeds had a hand in that rigging of the election in 2020. And if you look back, you'll see that we in America had government officials going out of script, forcing the PPP into power in Guyana. They forced it. Now, I'm not saying the PPP wouldn't have won fair and square, but what I'm saying is there was outside influence to force the PPP into office, and the people who did that are deep state people. They made the oath. They broke their government oath, and they joined these secret society people. That's what they did. And now they are stuck. They have to continue to push criminality, law breaking, because once you join a group, once you're in a deep state and you're above the law, you can't ever abide by the law. So everything they're doing with the government of Guyana is totally corrupt. It's all to hurt the people of Guyana. It's all to hurt the people of America. That's what's going on. It's a really, really, really bad situation. It's horrible. And so I'm exposing it. I'm exposing it because it's time. It's time people realize in Guyana, if you guys in the PPP did not know, these dudes from the United States who are claiming they're your friends, they're deep state. They've taken an oath to something that you don't know about. And they're doing things to hurt your country. Now you know, if you didn't know. If you didn't know, now you know. For those in the State Department, for those in our government who are working and doing the right thing in places like Guyana, now you know the deep state is playing around behind your back. They're manipulating you. Wake up. There's too much at stake. It's too serious what's happening right now. That's why I'm speaking. If this was normal times, I wouldn't say anything. But this is way too serious. Way too serious. And so I'm convinced that the deep state has their hands on this extradition process because they don't want to be exposed for their hand in rigging elections in Guyana. But they need to be exposed. It's time. Stop playing games. Now, unfortunately for them, they've got me there. And I've been down covering Guyana now since 2009. And yes, a lot of my work has bumped up against deep state individuals, and they've bumped up against me back. Fine. It hasn't been easy on my end. Fine. It hasn't been easy for them either. And it's damn sure isn't easy for them now. It's getting hot, and I'm bringing the heat, and I don't care. Because I'm not going to allow my kids to have to live in a hellhole of a world because these jerk-offs, these greedy, murdering jerk-offs are playing games for money or for fame or whatever the hell they're doing. They're stupid. Period. But I'm not going to allow my kids to have to suffer under that. I'm going to stand up. And in doing that, I'm standing up for the people of Guyana as well. Now, there are a lot of people in Guyana who doubt what I do and what I say. There are people who have accused me of taking money from the PPP. There are people who have accused me of taking money from the Mohammeds. Whatever, all right? People have accused me of being a CIA agent. Whatever you want to say, there's been a lot of accusations. I am me, on my own, working this. And I've been doing it on my own since going back to 2009. The reason why I've done it on my own is because I saw early on that there was so much corruption that if I didn't do it on my own, I'd get ensnared into it. All right? And so there are people here who are working with Americans here who are within the CIA. They're in the FBI. They're in the State Department. They talk to them. There are people, Guyanese people, diaspora, and Guyanese people in Guyana who think because these people are U.S. government officials that they are doing the right thing by everyone. The people they're speaking to are deep state. They have secretly broken their oath to the Constitution, and they've secretly joined this separate deep state group. Even though they're continuing to keep their job, whether it's in the FBI, CIA, or whatever. Their true allegiance is to their secret society, their deep state group. And so you have people from Guyana in America and in Guyana who don't know this. They think, oh, I'm talking to this important American. He's Mr. So-so-so. And so, of course, that means everything he sells is the truth. Wrong. You're being manipulated. And so that's why you'll see people in Guyana or outside Guyana who think they know me try to accuse me of getting paid by the PPP over and over again because they're being manipulated by their American handlers in the deep state. They just don't know. They don't know. That's how deep this is. That's how crazy it is. So I'm going to continue to stand in the breach here. I'm going to continue to tell the truth about what's happening. Even though people don't want it to be said, I'm going to continue to do it because I don't want to see the people of Guyana being abused by these sickos over here. All right? Period. And I'm not trying to over exaggerate, but I put everything on the line to prevent that from happening. I won't let it happen. I'm standing in the way. And so that's why I'm doing the live. That's why I do my posts. And I don't care if people believe me or not. It doesn't matter. I'm doing what I have to do for my own conscience. That's what it comes down to. It's my conscience. So if you want to come up against me and you want to fight with me, that's fine. Just understand that you're fighting against someone who is being honest, who's telling the truth, and who is standing on truth and conscience and with God, because that's who's carried me through. That's why I'm a man of God. I'm a faithful man. I'm a father, but I walk with God, and my work I do with God. And that's who I put my life in his hands. And yes, if you want to know which God, the God of all, the creator of all, the father of Yahshua. That's right. The God of Abraham, David. If you want to know specifically, that's how I roll. I'm not in a secret society. I'm not in the CIA. I'm a man of faith. And I just happen to have been reporting on this part of the world for a very long time. And my reporting deals with uncovering corruption. And that has led to me coming button heads with satanic groups. At the end of the day, the deep state is a satanic group. Don't let them tell you otherwise. They know it. That's why they're always hiding in the dark. That's why they break oaths and don't tell anybody. They're evil. They're putrid. They're pieces of crap. They're not good people. They may have titles. They may have wealth. They may have power. But they are truly, truly bad people who are never to be trusted. Period. There's no other way to put it. So if you guys want to understand why everything is so crazy in the region, it's because these deep state guys keep jumping and getting their hands into everything. So you're going to see when Trump goes in on Cuba, these deep state guys are going to try to undo that. What they want is carte blanche, drugs everywhere, rape and murder and chaos, because that's how they increase their power and their wealth. They don't increase power and wealth through peace, harmony, everyone getting together. They lose out when it's like that. They need chaos. They need murder. They need blood in the streets. This is who they are. I hate to say it, but that's what's going on. And that's what's making everything so complicated, because these jerk-offs are in our government, and they're liars and they're cheaters, and they're very smart and very slick and very powerful. They're very hard to deal with. I've been dealing with them for a long time. I'm going to continue with it my entire life, basically. I just told someone the other day, I'm never going to retire. I'm going to work every day of my life for as long as I live. I will never retire. I'm on a mission. Now y'all know. That's what's going on. So you guys can continue to claim I'm getting paid by whatever. I'm not. I'm not. Money isn't worth this. There's no amount of money you can pay me. Who cares about that? Who cares about that? What matters is that we all can live in peace and in prosperity that we earn, because we're all working hard. We're all following the rules. We're all busting our behinds, doing everything we can do for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, for our nations. And these evil pieces of crap are coming in and they're undoing it all. I'm sick of it. So that's what's happening with the Muhammad situation. That's why it's so out of control, because there's manipulation here, and it's from the American side, and it's the deep state. So I take tips, guys. If you guys have seen things, let me know. I go after it. I'm probably the only guy who does, but I go after it, and I'm letting everyone know what's going on so that even the PPP can get their shit straight and start running their nation right instead of playing games with these jerk-offs over here. All right? So I'm sorry for being upset. I'm sorry for dropping it like this, but I've been accused so many times of taking money from everybody down there, and I haven't taken a penny ever. And I will never take a penny. This is too important. So with that said, thanks again for joining me on the off-ramp, guys. I appreciate it. I'll be on all day long, and you guys can see me on Facebook or and whatever other platform I'll be around if you want to reach me. I am here to talk. I'm here to communicate. But let's try to work together. Let's all work together. You don't have to be a somebody to make a difference. You don't. All you have to do is take your own skills, apply them with love, work with others, and go after objectives that impact your communities. Don't worry about the national level. Focus on your communities. Group together, work together of like mind. That's the key. If you guys do that all over the country in Guyana, here in the United States, all over the Caribbean, we're all going to be fine. Those deep state guys can't deal with that. That's their kryptonite, is when us regular people group together and we do what's right for our communities and our families. That's their kryptonite. And that's what I stand on. So with that said, guys, thank you for joining me. Hey, if you like my content, please like it, subscribe, share. I really appreciate it. It's your support that keeps me going. It's not easy. I'm not complaining though. I love it. I love it. I can't get enough. Like I said, I will work until the day I die. I am not going to retire. I will always be working. And so, yeah, you might as well jump on now, subscribe now, because it's only going to get better. With that said, guys, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Love you.
David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney+.